Man, my walls are so boring right here. All I have is my prized DVD collection and this picture of Masahiro Sakurai. I even have this fancy light. What am I gonna do when company comes over? It's so lame, but like, posters are super lame too. And flammable. Google. What is a super high quality, awesome premium product to display art in a fire safe and beautifully unique way? Holy butts, it's displayed! High quality, beautiful metal prints! They look great under light and are completely fire safe. And since they stick up with magnets, you can swap them out however you want. The variety on their website is huge, and if you use my link in the description, then any purchase made will directly support this channel. So if you're interested, check it out. And a huge thanks to Displate for sponsoring this video. Morpeko! Pokemon Sword and Shield's new Pikachu cologne. Every Jan's gotta have one. But what even is it? Some kinda trash hamster? Well, just like the rest of the Pikachus, its name is the same in most languages, so maybe this name can enlighten us. Its name is a combination of the Japanese words for hungry and guinea pig. Guinea pig? So like a trash hamster? I mean, I guess. They're both pretty ugly and bean-shaped. But here's a great detail. Morpeko has pockets where it stores food. A lot of rodents have pockets like this, but in real life they're always in the cheeks. Not like literal pants pockets. It's cute though. And every turn Morpeko is on the battlefield, it switches into a new form. There's full belly mode and hangry mode. It must be able to fit a lot of food in those pockets for it to fill itself up between turns. This whole mode thing is all well and good. Many rodents have to eat super often because of their little metabolisms. They're just so rapid fast, which is primarily due to how small they are. I mean, they're rodents. It's hard to keep their insides warm because of their surface area to insides ratio. So their metabolisms have to be faster to produce more and more heat. The Etruscan shrew famously has one of the fastest metabolisms. If it doesn't eat twice its body weight in food every single day, it will starve to death and or freeze to death. Egad, I'd be pretty hangry too if my life depended on it. Desperate times call for desperate measures. You're fat, you look like food. And of course, taking such desperate actions are what leads to it becoming dark type when in hangry mode. It becomes quite rude and voracious and will knock anything out of the way and do any sort of dirty tactic to get the food it needs. Thus dark type. But let's talk about that word some more. Hangry. It's for when you get easily peeved and snappy because you're hungry. It's a real thing, which is why it's totally fine that it's a real word now. Now then, I love talking about food and nutrition and stuff. Completely changed my life. So, strap in. Also, just so you know, these are my sources. I read a lot of health books because I'm an adult. To be a kid again. Hunger is super interesting. A lot of people assume that when you are hungry, you will stay hungry until you eat, because it's a signal that you need to eat. It's not true whatsoever. If you just wait a few hours and don't linger on it, your body will completely forget that you were ever hungry. Until the next mealtime rolls around, that is. And if you do this consistently enough, you can eventually get yourself to not feel hungry. Like at all. This was one of the big points that helped me lose 170 plus pounds on a calorie surplus. You just limit your eating to a 2 to 4 hour window and it just does wonders. Even if you're eating 3 times as much as you were before. Of course, first starting out on that, it's always super hard to skip 2 meals and snacks every day at first, but as it turns out, the vast majority of the time, your body isn't telling you that you are hungry. Which, whenever that is the case, that's the only time it actually matters. Rather, for modern people in the first world, about 90% of the time, it's your brain telling you that you think you are hungry. The reason being because it is used to eating around this particular time of day. But eventually, if you force yourself to change the time of day you eat, the brain eventually gets used to eating at those times. And so the hunger signals at the other times of day just stop happening. Whoa. Do this for long enough, and suddenly your brain is used to eating in that 2 to 4 hour window, so you never feel hungry, except if you eat kind of late during that 2 to 4 hour window. But I mean, you know how clear-minded and focused you can get when your brain isn't always thinking about food in the back of its mind? It's awesome. But anyway, when your brain is telling you that it thinks it's hungry, it's also getting your body ready to eat. Thus, the stomach growling. It's preparing the stomach for food, because it's that time of day again. But it does do more than that. It gets various proteins and enzymes and hormones all pumped up and ready to help the digestion process, even though you haven't eaten anything yet. It's just preparing in advance. One of these is neuropeptide Y, a hormone that helps store food as body fat. It also has a lot to do with brain function. It regulates mood and is linked to aggression if there's too much of it. So, if your brain is preparing your body for food, but that food doesn't come as its regularly scheduled time, well, you get cranky. The brain also tells the pancreas to start some extra insulin production, which stores sugar into cells. But now, if the food comes late, well, your blood sugar is going to be lower than it should be. Never to dangerous levels if you're a healthy person, but enough to where now your body has to raise the blood sugar on its own to balance it out again. It does this by releasing the hormones cortisol and epinephrine, stress hormones. So you may feel on edge and more easily irritable. The combination of everything leads to feeling hangry. Hangry is 100% a real thing. Now just apply that to a creature that has to eat twice its body weight in a single day. Yeah, I'd be pretty pissed too. Tangent I think is interesting. You know those studies that like Mini Wheats always is promoting and is funding that say skipping breakfast is bad and eating breakfast leads to higher test scores in teens? What many of them don't take into account, usually on purpose, is that they're skipping breakfast. They're looking at people who normally eat breakfast and now they are skipping it. This is a very vastly different thing from just not eating breakfast, like, ever. And in many ways, eating fewer times per day is not only the easiest key to weight loss and weight management, but also helps in brain function much, much more than regularly eating breakfast and snacking does. To keep it simple, more blood for the brain when you aren't digesting things. And there is way less carbohydrate-induced systemic inflammation slowing the brain and blood down. Not to mention, eating once or twice a day will eventually eliminate the sense of cravings almost entirely. I didn't think that was possible until I did it. I almost forgot what hunger and cravings were like. The brain's stupid. But back to Pokemon. Yeah, hangry is a real thing, and a real word, so don't make fun of Morpeko for it. It's a rodent. Rodents need to be eating constantly. It's how they do. Oh, and they also run on wheels, hence its signature move. That's a thing also. Thanks for watching, and until next time, never stop using your noggin, never stop improving, and if you're interested in all the health stuff I did a video about it like a long time ago. At the time it was 140 pounds lost. Now I'm at 170. I think that means like 20 more to go.